This time we're hoping Sandoz is cleaner. We're hoping that the staff have been trained up properly. If they haven't, given they were given the final warning last time, all that's left is formal action. This could be service of notice, or it could be a prosecution, all the associated costs and the poor publicity that goes with it. Okay, so we're in Sandoz. To start off, I just want to wash my hands. Where's your wash hand basin? Is that just tucked in at the back? Cool. I'll sort that out. Okay, so is this the only wash hand basin you got?
Yeah.
So you do takeaway as well as...
Sorry?
You do takeaway as well as the restaurant, yeah? That's not so bad. Just watch this when you're cleaning up, because there's a little bit of grime just around the top there. So when I've got my nice clean hands, and I've rubbed all of the backs and the fingernails and all the rest of it, when I do that, I'm going to get that back on my hand again. Okay. So you've got some tissue for me? Cheers. Cardboard on the floor. It's not pristine, it's not brand new, but it's in reasonably good condition. Quite often they'll put this down to stop themselves slipping. The problem with putting the cardboard down is if it stays there too long, it gets thinner and thinner and more ingrained, then it can become a bit of a trip hazard. It's impossible to clean because cardboard will just soak up anything you put on it. The better solution is to make sure all the extract system's working properly, all the filters are nice and clean. It stops the grease settling in the first place. Prevention's better than cure. It's just sitting in a soup of whatever it is that they've cleaned up with last time they used it. The tub is split as well. It's pretty greasy to the feel. So there's no need to do this. It doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't help keep it clean. They're much better off when they finish using it. Wring it out so it's nice and dry. Pop it on the side. It's just easier. As it is now, this just presents another thing to have to be kept clean. And clearly we're not too bothered about doing that. Okay, so all of this is raw. Let's see what temperature the food's at. So that's just crept up a little bit there. That's 11. That's 3 degrees warmer than it should be as your legal maximum. Okay, a lot of meat here for use for kebabs. The ones that we saw in that can fridge, this will be the meat that gets ground up, made into the kebab meat. So that's higher. That's 12, 12 and a half. Okay, so the food is covered here, but the only labelling on it tells us if it's a medium strength or a hot strength curry. So we don't know when it was made. Bacteria is all about time and temperature combination. So it's already too warm in here, and now it's being allowed to grow for an amount of time that hasn't been specified because we don't have any labelling on it. So there's a couple of issues there that we need to get sorted out. Okay, so I've been doing this job for 15 years now. Every day is different, and that was one of the main reasons for getting into this job. Working for the council doesn't win you many fans, but it is reassuring to know at the end of the day that you're doing a good job and you're working to help protect people's health. What temperature is that?
12.
Okay, so what temperature should it be?
Sorry?
What temperature should it be at?
Same, 12, yeah.
So it should be at 12?
Yeah.
Okay. I've checked some of the foods in there. The food's also around about 10 degrees, can go up to 12 degrees. One was 12 and a half, but it should be 8 degrees or colder. All of that's too warm. Everything in there that I've probed is too warm. It needs to be 8 degrees C or colder than that.
Is one here?
I suspect your finger's not as sensitive as the probe.
So it should be 10 or?
It should be 8.
8. So
Yeah, and also you should know that it should be 8. And 8's the maximum. Ideally, it should run at about 5 degrees.
5 degrees.
Yeah. Do you know why keeping it cold is important?
Because already temperature is okay, you're working now. So 12 now.
Yeah.
So again,
And it is at 12 because I've used this to check it, and I've checked some of the kebab meat at the bottom. The stuff at the bottom's 12 and a half. The kebabs, the chicken and the lamb on the skewers, that's running at about 10 degrees.
10 degrees.
So still too warm.
So it will get more high.
Should be much lower, colder than that. So the door on this refrigerator, it doesn't quite meet at the top. So you've got this red hot tandoor oven pumping out an awful lot of heat, and you've got a fridge which is trying to compete with that to keep the food inside cold. The fridge is never going to win. There's a gap here, so all of the air will be escaping and the warm air will be going back in. So, okay, so the hot holding is just to stop any more bacterial growth. So we're looking here, hopefully you want a temperature above 63. It's probably a little bit cool at the moment.
Cold?
A little bit cool. It still feels warm, but it's running at about 55. Yeah. You need to make sure that stays over 63.
63?
Yeah. Okay. The storage is not good. Okay. So that needs to be warmer. That's got to be 63 at least. Well, again, there's a few things that we've seen I'm not particularly happy about. But he was saying that there was a final warning.
Yeah.
The final cooking is spot on, but you're relying then on that final bit being perfect every time. And the worst thing is, you haven't got any way of checking it. Okay, without that, you cannot know what temperature it is. I don't know what temperature that is, just by feeling it. I've no idea. Yeah, I can say it feels cold. Everything feels cold in here. It's pretty warm in here, yeah? So you've got to get one of these. It's only 20 quid, 18 quid. Yeah, not expensive. That could save you bacon. That's an Italian appropriate thing to say, isn't it? If we were to rate you now on the scores on the doors, you'd get 1 star.
1 star.
You get 1 star at the moment, out of 5. Okay, so there's 1,280 food businesses in Preston, and you'll be in the worst 10?
10.
Yeah, not so clever. The food business operators for Sandoz came in straight away after the inspection. They already had a load of information and ideas on how they're going to improve the premises. In fact, they've probably gone way beyond what the law asks for. Curry Cottage are going to come in and meet up with us very soon, and I'm sure between us we'll be able to find a way for them to improve as well. Since the scheme was launched in 2007, around 75% of businesses were broadly compliant, which means that they got 3 stars or more. As of the beginning of 2011, that was up to 86%, and it's showing no signs of slowing down.